Questions for reflection. The book of wisdom, attributed to Solomon, the wisest of all men in the Hebrew Scriptures, is a beautiful book. It presents wisdom as a person and was a favorite for reflection by the church fathers. Wisdom is given to us by the Lord, who is its source. It is communicated to reveal for us His providential plan. As this passage encourages us, we should awaken early to seek wisdom and meditate upon it once obtained. This entire chapter is addressed to leaders. All of us participate in leadership, whether it's in the family, the civil society, our work, or in the church. We need the wisdom of God to live our lives in accordance with His will. Are we seeking His wisdom? One of the challenges which the Apostle Paul was dealing with was misunderstanding about the second coming of Jesus Christ, which had crept into the early churches. In this letter and elsewhere, he, as a good spiritual father, keeps his readers, including each one of us, focused on Jesus Christ. Some in this community were beginning to grow slothful in their work and failing to live up to their duties because they had a mistaken notion of the second coming. Yes, He will return to execute the final judgment and usher in the kingdom. But until then, we should live in the knowledge that He is with us now and comes to us every day in His Word, in prayer, in the Holy Eucharist, in all the sacraments, and in other people. However, that takes the eyes of living faith to recognize Him. The 25th chapter of Matthew's Gospel is stunning. I encourage everyone watching or listening to me to read it in its entirety, soon and often. At the end of it, Jesus speaks of His return and the coming judgment of all the nations. In the beginning, Jesus uses parables to explain to His disciples, that includes you and me, how to live in such a way that we are ready for such a judgment and always living our lives as though He were coming, because He is. In the parable of the wise and foolish maidens or wedding attendants, which we heard today, we are reminded to stay filled with the Holy Spirit. Oil is a symbol of the Holy Spirit. We are called to stay in a state of grace, to live our lives in the light, to keep the oil in our lamps. Jesus is the bridegroom, the church is the bride. We are always to be at the watch because Jesus is truly coming. Do we believe this? Does it affect the way we live? Are we keeping our lamps lit?